What's going on? This is Jay. I got Ashley. I got Paris. What's up? What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing
Tired,
good.
tired,
Yes, all the time.
tired. But
You know, this the show. We got the Gen X versus the Millennials versus the Gen Zs. You know, I'm the old head out of the group, but I wanted to pick your brain tonight because Doug Gottlieb had a podcast episode the other day. You know, everyone has their take about Bronny and LeBron and nepotism and all this other stuff, blah, 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 blah. But this interview kind of hit home, and I'm going to play it now for everybody. I'm going to start playing it.
So, look, I've been critical of Bronny James, but more than critical of Bronny James, I've been critical of the evaluation of Bronny James for a long time. It really goes back to his senior year in high school when one ESPN draft analyst had him as the 10th best prospect coming out of high school, or 10th best prospect going into what would have been last year's draft. This is before he went to college. And I understand. I got in when I got into this business in 2002, and I started doing basketball analysis on ESPN. I really started doing it 2004. I was kind of in the rotation at ESPN doing pre, post, halftimes, etc. I was seen as, by many people, a hater or very negative. And I've always believed that if you took all of my commentary, somewhere in the 75% to 80, maybe even 85% have been positive. It's just there has to be a balance of it. Everything can't be great. If everything was great, well, then we're misusing the term great. It's average, right? But I walked into a sport where Dick Vitale, and I know Dick Vitale's fighting cancer, and I mean this. He has been nothing but a complete gentleman to me, to my family, for the entirety of my life. What people don't know about Coach Vitale is when he got the job at the University of Detroit, who's, by the way, in our league, in the Horizon League. He got the job. There were two finalists for the job: Bob Gottlieb, my dad, and Dick Vitale. He went on from being the head coach at University of Detroit to being the head coach of Detroit Pistons. He got fired. He became a TV commentator, and he is the most known college basketball commentator in the history of the medium. And he made a name for himself, some of it with analysis, a lot of it with catchy sayings and nicknames, but also with overall positivity. Oh, let me tell you about Mike Krzyzewski and now John Shia and Cooper Flagg. He reminds me of Christian Laettner and Bobby Hurley. Oh, it's awesome, baby, with a capital A, right? If you can find a negative comment about anybody that people actually kind of like, good luck. The only thing he would ever say negative is, change that rule. When they have the tie-up rule in college basketball for 30 years. Like, change that rule. That makes no sense. Change that rule. They never changed the rule. But the point is, you walk into a sport and a medium in which the biggest and best known guy is always positive. CBS, who I went to work for, they were always, everything's positive. Positive, positive, positive. Don't be negative. But that's not real analysis, right? So I understand that I can be seen as Debbie Downer when I said, like, he wasn't one of the 5, maybe even 10 best players in his high school league in the Mission League. You're like, no. Yeah. 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 He's just.
What do y'all think about that? He said he wasn't the top 5 of his own league, basically in high school.
It's true.
it's true. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with him on that. Didn't he only average like 5 points at Sierra Canyon the last time I checked? I mean, if we're going to be real here, like even if we know any regular person scoring 5 points, are they even a JV player? JVA?
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's interesting.
That is what. Like, what would you think? Like, anybody scoring 5 points, are they even JVA caliber?
Well, it depends on the role. You can be a defensive specialist, still working in your game, but you can be a shutdown defender. I've coached a lot of players like that. They had a role. The offensive game wasn't where it needed to be, but if I told them go hunt, shut that player down, they were athletic enough to harass that player and earn minutes. But is he like? What do you think, Ashley?
I mean, what he's saying is true. He wasn't the top prospect, and then when he gets more into the interview, he was just like, Bronny never had you have those type of games like, damn, but I scored 40 tonight. Bronny never had that in his whole career.
Well, let's see what he's saying.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I get it. I get where you're coming from.
Just not. He ain't that guy. I mean, remember, the year that he played at Sierra Canyon, he wasn't Sierra Canyon's best player. In their league, there's a school called Sherman Oaks, Notre Dame. It is a 5-minute drive from where the boys are broadcasting from in Sherman Oaks. On that team, they had Dusty Stromer, went to Gonzaga. He's better. Caleb Foster starts at Duke. He's better. Jared McCain, who started at Duke and is now in the NBA. That was on one team who beat Sierra Canyon 4 times. And there was never a game in which there was never a game in high school that he had 30, let alone 25. Yeah. And while you sit there and go like, well, you're judging too harshly. Am I? Have you ever heard of a guard being a top prospect? Like, look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I was better than Bronny James in high school. Okay. But I had a 44-point game.
Wow, he went there. He's
I averaged 20 and 10. I had a 30 and 19 game. Like, there's going to be it's going to be some game where you go off, right? Never happened. So he goes to USC and he has that really scary moment where his heart stopped. And frankly, just for him to be alive is amazing, let alone come back and play. That's great. But the team was awful. When he started, they weren't good. The one game he did break out and had, I think, like 20 points was a 20-point loss to Oregon State, who was the worst team in the league or one of the worst teams in the league. Like, they weren't good. And again, if you're a draft pick, there's got to be something there, and just didn't see it. LeBron's best friend, high school teammate, is the head coach of Duquesne this year. I thought that was a perfect fit.
Now, do you think he's getting personal now, or he's still speaking truth? Well, he is speaking. The numbers don't lie. The numbers are the numbers. Mm-hmm. But do you think he's like going at Bronny? Do you think
he threw a little shade, just a little bit, not too much.
Shade,
just a little bit, not too much.
I don't think he said nothing crazy. It was like, whoa, like you might want to.
I thought it was funny. I'm like, oh, took it there. But I think just a little shade. I like what he's about to say next, because I did not know this about Bronny's opportunities. He's about to discuss Bronny's I guess LeBron's best friend. He's actually a college coach. You know what I'm saying? And then my whole thing, you could have got catered to. You would have been that dog there. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Ben Simmons did. Ben Simmons had offers everywhere, but he went to LSU because his uncle was the coach. So he gets to do whatever he wanted.
Let me see.
Build up your game. Establish yourself as an alpha. Learn how to be a dominant player at the college level. Stay there a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then go and try and be a professional. Instead, LeBron tweeted out, hey, my son's better than half the guys we're playing against in the league. So here's the latest news. This is Brian Windhorst. Bronny played a couple games in the NBA, sent down to the G League. Here's the latest news on Bronny.
I'm going to apply the brakes on my everything's fine on the Bronny front with this thing that's now happening, which is that, from my understanding, he's only going to play in the South Bay Lakers home games. that he's only going to kind of be a part-time G League player, and he's not getting on United Airlines and going to fly.
Now wait a minute. Wait a goddamn. Wait. So they gave us. He's in the G League now. Now he's not playing. Well, I know about that, but he's not traveling with the team now. Like
he's only doing home games. Like that means like if they have an away game, let's say to Chicago, he's not going. Basically, he ain't going. I'm saying how they sound.
You got
they on coach. Is the team on coach? Like what? Like they on like how they flying? I guess they coach. He want to fly coach. I don't know.
I mean, it's a free flight at the end of the day. I'm not gonna complain. I'm not. You would never hear me complain about a free flight.
It depends where they're staying too. It's just like I'm used to Ritz Carlton. I'm not gonna stay at the. I don't know where they stay, but it ain't the Ritz.
So wait a minute. This doesn't make any sense to me.
This is where I draw the line. Like
that's where I kind of drew the line too.
Yeah, I was cool with the whole nepotism. I'm like, yeah, go off. Now it's just like, all right.
Like, it's
all right,
really
that's enough.
Don't they know
a whole nother level?
Any team, they may not say it, especially in the G League, they're gonna keep their mouth shut. I think one person during the summertime on the G League said something. It's us and it's him. And I think the Lakers cut him like 2 days after that in summer league.
I heard
about that. The player's name, but if y'all know that player, put that player in the comment. So, but I can't remember. These G League players are gonna zip it.
And you know what's sad though, but the G League, because I see the G League as JUCO. You know what I'm saying? Because this is it. This is it. Like every time they lace up, this is it. It's do or die, and it just sucks that like. You got somebody that's on the team, but he ain't playing with us all the time. Hey, I heard Bronny starting too. That's why I saw that debut game. I think he started. That's why I was like, oh shoot. Hey, it's just getting like it was funny, but now it's just like all right. Now it's getting scary.
Like you can lose the locker room at that point because
it's
like,
over. You already know. As a player,
he's not gonna lose the locker. Like I said, they like. Lambert, you touched on it, but it's kind of what this is. They're not gonna mess up their opportunity and talk negative about him at all. However, they're gonna be looking at him like this mother right here. He's just coming in and out underneath their breath.
He's never gonna have their respect, and it's the sad part. They never gonna respect him. I don't think nobody does, and it just sucks because it's not on him. It's your daddy. Your daddy did this to you. Because I didn't think he wanted to be in the league. I thought it was just all LeBron's idea.
I know.
I think that's what we're about to get into.
Jordan's son was better than him in college.
Oh yeah, by far.
And Jordan didn't push the button to get his son into the league, which he could have.
I think same thing with Dwayne Wade's son. Didn't they go to Sierra Canyon together?
Yeah.
And he did play in the G League. I think 1 year. I think he was averaging. Like 2.1 points, and they cut him. Dwayne Wade ain't give no handout.
You can't protect the kids. But let's see what else he's talking about.
And Shaq's kid made it to like a pro league.
And go see these.
I think he recently got cut. They let him go, but he was averaging more. But I think his heart problem was worse than Bronny's. I believe Bronny
had like a whole like.
Oh, well, he had the whole heart surgery, right? He had like a big
the whole I think it's like a whole replacement or something.
I don't know if it's I don't really know that. I know his was different. I think Bronny's was more rhythmic. I think Shaq's son was more something. It was mechanical. It was really something wrong with one of his chambers, the function of his heart. But I think Bronny's was more the rhythmic, the pumping, the pulsing of your heart was off. But I think Shaq's son was way more serious because I know they actually had to cut him. And so let's see what else. This is crazy. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know.
these other teams, he's playing these road games now. Because honestly, like I know he was getting so much special treatment and nepotism. That's fine. Honestly, I don't care. Like I said, it's normal. Now I think it's actually detrimental to him. I don't like that. I don't know whose idea it was. Obviously, the Lakers are fine with it. They're doing it. I've now, on this particular instance, I think that's gone too far, and I don't think that benefits Bronny. I don't think it benefits the South Bay Lakers, and I don't think it benefits LeBron at that point.
None of it has benefited Bronny. It's become a joke. Like you literally did like a Make-A-Wish kid for him, and you played him in the first game for 2 minutes, and then he scored 2 points in another kind of blowout. And you just,
did he call him a Make-A-Wish? Make-A-Wish kid?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Like everybody stop what they doing and let him shoot. Yeah.
I can't.
But question. What's crazy to me, because people forget this part. You know how many NBA players have kids that play basketball? That's in college ball. You got the Boozers, Matt Barnes, his twins, like all of them. Great example, Scottie Pippen Jr.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
See Scottie Pippen Sr. go this hard. You know what I'm saying? Compared to LeBron James.
They cut him. They didn't cut him. They basically released him. It's like, now we don't need you.
And like Scottie Pippen, like I never see him like go as hard tweeting, you know, like he just like I feel like all of them like it is what it is. And like he's doing great in Memphis now, you know, but I don't know. I just don't want, because it looks like LeBron looks like he's holding his hand. He's holding his hand.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That's how I see it. He's
holding his hand through the whole process. And it's just like these other kids, these other offsprings, I don't see their dad doing all this for them.
I don't even think, I'm gonna go as far as to say I don't even think LeVar Ball did that for his kids.
The only thing he did, he promoted them well.
And that's what you're supposed to do as a father.
But them boys can play. Them boys can play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even what was his name? LiAngelo?
Yeah,
he's way better than Bronny.
Everybody said that too, and he's not in the league. But
well, he was stealing, so that's a
he was overseas still. How you gonna go overseas still? You lucky they didn't keep his ass. You know.
Yeah, I think that whole situation, he was with the wrong crowd, because I was just like, bro, you on TV.
You don't need to steal. Call your brother up. I need a loan. I need something.
Been a tax write-off or anything.
I think he was with the wrong crowd.
That's crazy.
just kind of threw him into the game in the last 4 minutes of a game. Like you don't develop that way. That's not how it works. You can't only play home games. What, he can't get on a United flight? Why? Why?
Yo, look at his face. Look at his face.
What are we doing here? And if it's a question of travel, well, LeBron, fire up the G5 and fly him to wherever he's got to go. Make him in practice. But he's only going to play home games? Huh?
Now pause it. Whose idea?
That doesn't make any sense.
Yo, this is straight up AAU right here. This is straight up AAU.
Whose idea you think it was? Oh, he only gonna play home games. Either that was Bronny's idea.
No, it better not be.
Exactly. That's all I'm like. This
no, if it was, then he got way too much power and he's abusing it already.
So you think
I think Bronny want to get better. I think he wants to get better, and as a player, y'all know, you want to play.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
But he only playing certain amount of games because I only get on certain amount of play. Yo, that's straight up AAU parenting right there. That is an AAU parent. That's a travel basketball parent. That, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. I feel, Bronny, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, Bronny.
There's only like 30 WNBA games ever, I think, right? I mean, WNBA. There's only like 30 G League games anyway. You're only going to play half of them? And then there's the how much do you actually play him? Because you got to develop some of the other young players on the roster. Figure out what else you have. How do you build on his development if he's going to play every other game or miss 2 games here, miss 2 games there, not be with the team?
Yep.
Yeah.
The whole thing has been, as we told you, this is about LeBron. This is about LeBron, who said, I want to play with my son. I want him to be in the NBA. And he said it, and the Lakers snapped their finger, made it happen. So let's talk about the reality. Reality is, no matter what Rich Paul said, it was complete BS. No one else was drafting Bronny, not because they were scared of him not playing or trying to recruit LeBron James, because he's not an NBA prospect.
Now that right there, that is when I remember Rich Paul, sat down and said that. They're not going to draft, and we put things out there to other teams not to draft X, Y, and Z. I knew that was BS.
Yeah.
I knew that was BS way back then. But, like, are we there yet with Rich Paul and them? Like, are they shot callers like that? Or are they creating a narrative like that? That's just basically a flat-out lie. Because me as a GM, I'm going to draft the player I feel is going to help my team.
As you should.
Or if I want to stick it to, or flip it the other way, if I'm a GM and I don't like the Lakers, I may draft your son anyway. That's just the evil person I am sometimes. I may be petty, but it's either or. I'm going to draft the player because I know the player is going to help me, or I'm going to draft the player because I'm going to stick it to you because I know that's the player that you wanted. So.
All right, real quick. So you the GM, you drafted Bronny. You giving him $7 million still?
Hell no. That contract was unprecedented for someone at that draft position. A guarantee.
$7 million?
He's the highest ever to get drafted. I mean, to get paid that much at that draft level.
Actually, I want to see the draft pick before him and the draft pick after him, what their contracts are. Like that's actually, I would like to pull that up. If we can find that.
I think you don't want to look at it. It's just gonna be bad. I can already tell you.
Get that boy $7 million. What? All right, cool.
See, this is how I envision them doing. I said they're not gonna, like, Bronny's not gonna take a draft pick, right? The Lakers are not that stupid, but obviously they are that stupid to waste a second round draft pick, right? I thought, hey, he doesn't get drafted, but they'll pick him up. And he'll go through the system, make the team, play, opening night. But I didn't think they was going to waste a draft pick on him. And then give him, $7-8 million guaranteed. I'm like, y'all doubling down on the stupidity.
Anything to make James happy. That's what it looked like. But my thing is, though, like, you did everything, but keep going.
Prospect. I have a very close friend who is a scout on a high-level NBA team who's tracked Bronny James for the entirety of his career. Go back and look. High school, AAU, college. There is no point in which he is elite at anything he does. And at his size, you got to be elite shooting and defensively. He's not. And all this does is expose it as which is they were trying to please LeBron, which you could do, and I actually have no problem with. You waste a draft pick, you give him a 4-year guaranteed contract like he's a real NBA player, you put him out there the first game of the season. No one does that. So what it does is it strikes at the credibility of your coach who said, we love Bronny. Remember, this is a coach in J.J. Redick who's trying to earn credibility in the NBA. And what did he say? He earned this. No, he didn't. How? By being born with the name James on the back of his chest, on the back of his shirt. So it hurts your coach's credibility, hurts your GM's credibility, hurts your best player's credibility, hurts your ability.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to push back. I'm going to disagree with that. Like J.J. Redick, personally, I don't care for him, but I don't think J.J. Redick had anything to do with this because he's a new coach. He's just going to go along with the program.
Yeah.
He has no power to push back. So I'm not going to ride with Doug on that one. I think he was off base on that. Now the GM, I think the GM is ridiculous. I think, and the owner to sign off on that, it makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense.
Also, the pick after Bronny James, his name is Kevin McCullough Jr.
Mm-hmm.
He is in the D League. He is actually playing for the Knicks, but his contract is 1 year and it's $500,000. I mean, are we really surprised? Ash, are you surprised?
Again, I always tell people his dad is LeBron and his name is Bronny James. we know what time it is. Yeah.
Wow.
Question: you think if David Stern was alive, you think he'll check off all this stuff?
No, because it would have never got to this point. All the stuff
I don't
that's
think so
happening in the NBA right now, it would never be, the NBA would not be what it is right now. I think David Stern wouldn't have signed off on all the rule changes they've implemented over the years. You know, the gather, and then you get another 2 steps, so you got 3 steps. Like, it's just the step back to the side. It ain't my NBA. This y'all NBA. This not my NBA. It's y'all NBA.
To build a team, because especially in training camp and in those first couple of weeks, like, you can't talk about LeBron when Bronny's around.
Look at his
You
face.
can't beat yourself when you're like, there's a kid over here who's the best player's son. Like, we can't just be ourselves. And now in the G League, how do you develop him? How do you build a team? How do you function? And it shouldn't come as a surprise. Go back and look. His last team at Sierra Canyon, an abject disaster. Right? Go and look at USC last year. The team, abject disaster. Essentially, both coaches, and the NFL wasn't fired, but it's not like they fought him over going to SMU. Sierra Canyon changed coaches. Same thing. Like, this toxicity is based upon one guy.
So what y'all think about that?
I have a question. What does he mean abject? Like with an A or like an abject disaster? That's was trying to understand.
I think he was talking about. It sounded like he talked about the Lakers, like the organization.
I think it more so of LeBron, because remember, LeBron is, if you're holding someone's hand, that means you have to take some responsibility too. If I had to hold his hand during going to work, I feel like I should receive some blame too. It'll be different if I just like let him go, like, and let him learn on his own. That's different. So I believe it's more so on LeBron, because if we're being really real, who really runs the Lakers? LeBron. Look how many people they went through.
According to Rich Paul, that's not accurate. That's what he said. It's not accurate according to Rich Paul. He said LeBron has no power.
Didn't they ship half the farm to get AD because of LeBron? That's
just trying to get a better team. You know, that's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to get a better player, and draft picks like that. But there probably is some truth to what you're saying, Paris, because there's been a lot of Darvin Ham, Vogel, the coaches are coming and going.
Mm-hmm. And I just still think LeBron should just take. Is it going to be full blame on LeBron? No. But I think it should be kind of more so on LeBron's. And because you are holding his hand. It's one thing, nepotism, all that happens all over, not just in sports, corporate America, so forth and so forth. I don't care about that, like what he said. I don't care about that. I expected it. But now we're getting to the point where you're only playing half the games. You don't want to get on a flight because it's United. Like, come on. Any other player cannot do that.
Yeah.
You would get fired. You would get cut, waived, whatever.
Well,
and I think what's best for Bronny, if I'm being honest, either he needs to get cut or he needs to get traded away from the Lakers.
Nah, that ain't gonna happen.
I understand that.
No, what's best for him? Yeah, you're probably right, but that ain't gonna happen. That's not in the cards, dude. That ain't happening. Not until LeBron retires. You're accurate if LeBron was no longer in the league.
Okay. All right.
Can Bronny even be on like an overseas roster? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm thinking about it.
Can he be on a roster overseas?
It will help him develop. I will help him think on his feet.
Yeah, I mean, you see what happened to LaMelo.
Yeah,
LeVar shipped him off.
And it made him a better player. Like I think
when he came back to the States, he was light years ahead.
Yeah. It's just now he just on a bad team, LaMelo.
Yeah. Yeah, but this whole Bronny situation, guys, it's funny, but it's starting to get real sad. Like I said, all these other dads is in the NBA. I never seen them go this hard over their son. I never seen anything like this in my life.
Well, I think as the journey continues, we'll be on it reporting. Hit us up in the comments what you think. Support Big Time Hoops, like, share, subscribe, and also check us out at bigtimehoops.net. We're in 16 states now. It's no longer 15 states. We're in 16 states because we just added Delaware. So appreciate you, Ashley. Appreciate you, Paris. We are out, ladies and gentlemen. We are out.
See ya.
Good night.